Oh, we are live and we are recording, and I'm streaming in from Bribey Island. Hello, everyone. My name is Justin Phillips, and I am very privileged and honored to be what we call an ambassador diamond in ASEA. And that just means that I love what we're about to talk about tonight, and I have helped a lot of people learn about it and use it in their lives and transform their lives. So I hope my sound is good. I'm playing with a new mic. Please, if someone could pop in the chat box and just say, hey, hi, and that you can hear me, that'd be awesome. It's always good to get some feedback. And it doesn't look like it is working. All right, check one, check two. Does that sound any better? Hey, thank you, Myra. Thank you, Myra. Thank you very much for telling me that. And Muggo, hey, Muggo, hope you're great. How's that sounding? Yes, can hear you here. Thank you, Michael. That is awesome. Gary White, I'm not sure why you can't hear me. Other people could hear me, so that's a plus. Myra, can you tell me if the sound quality is any better now than it was just a moment ago? Because I was actually on my other mic there, and I'd just be curious. Yes, we can in New South Wales. Yeah, tell us where you're coming in from. Yes, better. Hey, that's so cool. All right. It's kind of like a podcasting mic here, but I'm just finding it's a little bit tall for me at the moment. So I'll have to work on my mount. So that's all good. So yeah, well, welcome everyone. Buxton, New South Wales. Fantastic. I'm streaming in from Bribey Island, Southeast Queensland, and loving it. Alan Fitzgerald, there's the man. Hopefully, yeah, I'm guessing you're in Toowoomba, hometown. Love you, Alan. You're awesome. So, yeah, welcome, everybody. As I said, my name is Justin Phillips, and tonight I am going to do a redox breakthrough for you, or discover redox. If this is your first time learning about this incredible technology, then congratulations. You have found something amazing. And for me, absolutely life-changing, and I'll be forever grateful for coming across redox. And if you've seen this before, then hopefully I can give you some extra information and plug in some of the holes for you. So by all means, pop your comments in the chat box and have a little play with us. We want to learn as we do these presentations. This is the whole point of it. It's an education presentation. So please, your comments are very, very welcome. And we want you to get the most out of this. So let's kick off the slideshow. And let's talk a little bit about redox and what it is and how it can change your world. Let's do a little share screen there. There we go. And also, as I do share that screen, can someone please let me know that you can actually see a breakthrough. See a breakthrough there, that you're seeing the right screen. You seeing the right screen, anyone? Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for the responses. It really helps when you're doing these. You don't feel like you're like totally lonely. 5 messages. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Champions. Love your work. Gold Coast. Yes, of course, Margot. You're from the Gold Coast. Love it. Fantastic. All right. So, well, I want to welcome you all here, and it doesn't matter what any of these reasons. You can be here for any of these reasons, whether you're here for health and wellness, which a lot of people are for. A lot of people, particularly, in the current environment, people are kind of going, yeah, my health is important to me, yeah? And thank goodness, many of us that are streaming in from Australia, we've had fantastic experience compared to many people around the world. It's been pretty tragic for a lot of people, but super grateful for our health and wellness. I often say, without your health, you got no wealth, right? It is the foundation from which you build your life. But perhaps you want to be more beautiful. That's fantastic. Who doesn't want to be more beautiful? And perhaps you're an athlete and looking for better performance, or you're looking for anti-aging. Perhaps you love your life and you want to live like that for longer. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Or who is looking for more time, money, and even location freedom. Well, I'm not traveling much at the moment, but normally I can run my business just with a laptop, a mobile phone, and an internet connection. And that is extraordinary. I'm super grateful that I no longer do the 1 to 3 hours a day commute into the office. And yeah, just love the fact that this can produce an incredible business where I can be a stay-at-home parent and lots of cool stuff on that front as well. So stay tuned, because you will learn some stuff that perhaps you can implement into your life and create your dreams. So maybe you've got a health challenge, or maybe you know someone with a health challenge. And in today's world, don't most of us know someone who's sick and perhaps, deserves to know about this great technology? Perhaps you want to live younger for longer. Absolutely. Get more out of life. Why not? And perhaps you're looking for additional income and lifestyle. And it breaks my heart. I used to be as a traditional business owner. So my background's in health and well-being, and I had health food shops, like a retail health food shop, natural therapies clinic, and I've worked in a lot of like clinics and so forth, and even gyms and different business models. And I just know that so many business owners are suffering right now. And I hate that, because like entrepreneurs are really hardworking people. They're good people. They want to deliver value to the community, and just so many of them right now are really suffering. So this really is an amazing business to be able to bolt onto the side of what people are currently doing, and provide that additional income and support during a very difficult economic time. And hopefully we've seen the worst of it, but I suspect not. So yeah, absolutely go and help your if you're an entrepreneur, check out this. And this was my life. This was my healthy life, health food shop. This was back in about 2010. And I loved this shop, and I loved helping a lot of people. And so after probably 16 or 15 years in the health and wellness industry and a whole lot of different things, my story is that I was bitten by a tick when I was 18, and I got a couple of multi-systemic bacterial infections then. And I had them for nearly 20 years before I was diagnosed, and no one could tell me what I had. And I had bizarre symptoms and neurological conditions, and aches and pains and fatigue and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff, and muscles that would spasm. And I just knew it wasn't quite right. It all started when I was 18, and I was very fit and healthy, like not long before that. And 6 months after that tick bite, I had back pain. It would move around, and I was no longer feeling normal. And so I went to my doctors and tried the drugs they offered, and then they said, "Oh, look, we could try exploratory surgery on pain that was moving around on my spine." I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't think that's a good idea." And then I just basically started trying every single therapy I could find, every product, every supplement, every therapy that I could get my hands on, I learn about. I would give it a go. And thankfully, I found traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, and acupressure. In fact, my practitioner that I found, he was actually doing Japanese style acupressure. It wasn't shiatsu, it was a different one, and Japanese acupuncture. And it changed my life. It gave me pain relief, and it helped with my energy. And yeah, it was fantastic. And so then I went on and I started studying that, and I studied nutrition, and I studied remedial therapies, and I studied massage from all areas of the globe, and I studied kinesiology, and I was working in the industry as well, and helping other people. But this situation went on for a long time. And so I was always looking for something cutting edge. I was always looking for the best things to help me with my health. And I was very lucky. I managed to marry my high school sweetheart as well. And she actually had a fatigue issue for 25 years as well. So we kind of we didn't know that when we were teenagers, but when we were in our early 20s, we kind of, we both felt like something was wrong. And so we really supported each other with that, and did heaps of yoga, and, did a lot of things to try and improve our health. I taught Qigong and Tai Chi for 8 years. I went and did paramedics for a number of years. I did personal training. I worked in gyms. I did personal practice. I worked in other people's clinics. And eventually I bought my own clinic. And this is actually a health food shop and a natural therapies clinic. So there's 4 rooms out the back there. And when I had this, I had $120,000 worth of product in stock there on the shelves. That's a heck of a lot of stock. I had up to 7 staff. And I had employees working in the shop, and I had up to 11 subcontracted practitioners out the back. And we were turning over close to $1 million. My average sale was $36.50. So you can imagine that's a lot of sales. And that was a 7-day-a-week job, which was pretty hard. It was in a major shopping center, massive rent. It was a franchise, massive franchise fees. In fact, the franchise fees always earned more than I did. All my staff earned more than I did. But I loved what I did, and I was always hopeful that, I was going to get the business really profitable and get it rocking. And then the global financial crisis come along, right? So I love traditional business. I was a big part of the local business community. It did cost me a lot to get started, $300,000 to start a business like this. And I was doing 80-hour weeks, especially towards the end of it. And then in 2011, the global financial crisis hit Bribey Island, where I live, and we lost 40 businesses in just 2 months. I had to shut the doors in early 2012. Unfortunately, the franchise was already in administration, and I was in a bad way, and I had to go into bankruptcy, which was not much fun. Now, I I didn't see that coming 3 months earlier, right? That was complete shock. And all my staff got paid out, but it was horrendous time for me and very stressful. And what happened was that even though I'd like over 20 or 18 years learnt how to cope with the condition that I had, the stress of this time just destroyed me. And I had a massive health challenge come out. I had huge neurological symptoms. I was like spasming all over the place, massive fatigue, ice peak headaches. And that went on and actually continued for 18 months. I got worse and worse and worse, to the point where I could barely get out of bed to feed myself. I had lost thermoregulation of my arms and legs. I would get completely dead limbs in the middle of the night where I couldn't feel a limb or couldn't move a limb, and I had to physically use another limb to move it. It was terrifying. I had light sensitivity. Had to live in dark rooms sometimes. Had massive digestive sensitivity and chemical and like I couldn't even eat anything from the supermarket, not even just the fruit and veg section, but anything in a box or a bottle or a packet. Like I was super sensitive to food additives, anything that had a spray on it, chemical on it, would just send me off. And it was a really hard time. I was by mid 2013, I was a mess. I had lots of mental health as well. I was really depressed. I would go into rage. My brain was really badly affected. I lost coordination. I was breaking everything in the kitchen, which was driving my wife nuts. But I'm sure the rage and the paranoia was a lot worse. It was horrendous, and I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for her. So I'm super grateful for that. And I think when the chips are down, you tend to appreciate life. You tend to appreciate the good things in life, and when things get better, you don't take them for granted anymore. So I know what's possible as far as like being really sick and actually healing from that. And thankfully, I found a seer. One day, someone said to me, they called me and they said, "Do you know what redox signaling molecules are?" And I said, "No, actually, I don't." And I'd studied anatomy and physiology twice at this point, both as a paramedic and in natural medicine. And no one had ever taught me about redox signaling molecules. And when they said, well, it's actually got to do with how our cells communicate. And when every time our cells need to detect a problem, or they need to protect themselves from a problem, or they need to repair themselves, or the cell actually needs to replace itself when it's either too old or it's dysfunctional or it's actually really sick and gone rogue and doing things it shouldn't do, our body destroys that cell and replaces it with a healthy cell. Well, that's all regulated by redox signaling molecules. And I was flabbergasted and a bit angry because I didn't know the basics of how cells communicate. But thank God that they told me about that stuff, because then we used that, and just on 60 mils twice a day for 3 weeks, my wife had a phenomenal improvement. She had a fatigue issue for 25 years, and we were spending $1,000 a month, and a lot of that was wholesale, and we were seeing the best practitioners that we could find. And after being in industry for a long time, you know some pretty good people. And we got a better result on $200 a month worth of liquid that we were importing directly from the US at great expense with shipping. And we were just blown away. So we started to ask, what is this stuff? What is redox, right? And then we got involved with that. We started in mid 2014. We were asked if we'd be interested to share this. And in August 2014, a seer came to Australia. And it started with one product. It started with Renew 28, this gel, this redox gel. And we started sharing that. And at the time, I'd gotten over my condition. I also had an autoimmune disease of the thyroid, and that had completely gone just through natural medicine and redox. And also I had 3 multi-systemic bacterial infections. Usually you get them from ticks. And I was in a terrible state when I was sick. And 5 months later, I was fully well. So I had a phenomenal healing response, right? And I was using the redox and using natural medicine. And then 6 months later, I'm in this integrated medical clinic. I'm practice manager, clinical assistant, health coach. I'm doing some really cool cutting edge stuff. I'm doing like nutritional, herbal, bioresonance, bioimpedance. I'm doing electromedicine. We're doing stem cell therapy, IV glutathione, vitamin C. Like, we're doing phenomenal stuff. Best, like the pinnacle of my career in integrated medicine, functional medicine. And we were still seeing people not get the result that I had. But then we started introducing the gel. And when we did that, we saw incredible things happen. And that's when I knew that was the missing key, that this was a very important part of the puzzle. So then we started sharing it with lots of people. And because this product is distributed with direct sales or network marketing model or relationship based model, however you want to call it, and I was a novice in that. I'd never done that before, right? My wife and I had never been in network marketing. We've been approached many times. We used a lot of products from companies, but we'd never even been to a business presentation. We didn't know how it worked. And we saw this result with a lot of people, not just ourselves, and we went crazy. We started reading books like mad. We probably read 30 books in 6 months, and we went, okay, this is a real business. Let's get this out to people because people need it. And we did that part-time around our my full-time job, my wife's full-time strategic transport career, her business, 50-hour week business. And within 9 months, we had a 6-figure residual income just on one product, with no upline or no direct support in Australia, no experience. And we were just super passionate about getting this amazing health product in people's hands. And then when that sort of income's coming in, you kind of go, wow, I imagine what's possible with this if we really tried. And so after 15 months, I resigned out of the clinic and doing the ASEA part-time, and then went full-time. And at 19 months, we went triple diamond. And then, yep, it's history. Like, we've just been on a fantastic journey ever since. So we ended up water skiing in Disney World with these amazing people. And the lady on the right there is Trish Wankler. She is the top earner of ASEA, and she's a very frugal, down-to-earth, very caring woman. She says she's got a PhD, public high school diploma, right? She's not a healthcare professional anyway, but she's always been looking for health products. She's got 3 kids. 2 of them have had some major health challenges, and she's just a darling. Love her to bits, Trish. And these days she earns $3 million US a year residual through ASEA because she cared enough to make sure a lot of people knew about this stuff. That's my wife in the middle. She doesn't have fatigue issues anymore, which is phenomenal. And that's Sissel, who's a good friend from Norway. And we catch up with her when we do these diamond trips. The company pays for us to go on trips. And yeah, Sissel's just a darling as well from Norway. And we're like water skiing in Disney World there, which is super cool. So this is our life now. We work from home. We don't commute down into the city anymore. We live on beautiful Bribie Island. We've got 4 toy puppies that are adorable. And we fell pregnant after doing ASEA for 20 months. We fell pregnant. We now have a 3.5-year-old, a little lady who is fantastic. I love my morning walks and doing coffee down by the beach. This is Joy at a meeting. So we're training her young. This is at a kitchen, like an in-home presentation. So most of the meetings we've done are just in people's homes, just like really casual, small scale. But yeah, occasionally we have to do big ones. So this is one of the big ones in Australia. This is a 300-person one. This is from a few years ago. And it's all down to this man, Vertus Norton. He's our founder and one of our founders, him and his son. And Vertus Norton is an extremely clever man. He was a vice president of strategy of Kraft Foods of a nearly $40 billion company when he retired. Very wealthy, very well off at the age of 56, an extraordinary corporate career. And he came out of retirement at the age of 69 because he found this technology and he knew people needed it. He knew the people needed this technology, not the medical industry or not the health industry. People needed this technology. He had a health challenge himself with G Healed, and he saw many other people have an extraordinary result. And he came out of retirement to create a network marketing company, which he'd never been in network marketing. He was a corporate guy, in order to give the technology to us. And I love him to bits, and he is an extraordinary man, and super grateful for him. This is on a trip in Mexico that we'd won. We have extraordinary new friends and community all over the place. And freedom has never been better thanks to ASEA. Now, I'm not trying to tell you that story to brag. I'm trying to tell you that story to inspire you, because what is your story? What do you want? Right now in history, it's easy to focus on the negative, but all the books and all the master teachers tell me you got to focus on what you want in order to get it. You got to clean your mind and picture exactly what you want and focus on that and take action every day on what you want. And I tell you, the vehicle of ASEA can give you exactly what you want. It has for me. So what's your story? Okay, so let's learn about redox. So redox science, independent of ASEA, there's got nothing to do with ASEA now. So the health community around the world, researchers around the world, and redox is one of the fastest growing areas of health research around the world. They have proven that redox signaling molecules is the foundation of cells. It's the foundation of cellular health. And if our cells are healthy, our tissues are healthy, our organs are healthy, our organ systems are healthy, and the whole organism is healthy. It starts at the redox signaling molecule phase now. Okay, so we live and die at the cellular level, And if we get our redox healthy, then our cells are healthy. And the big challenge is as we age, our basic chemical reaction for life, the Krebs cycle, where we make our energy and we make our redox molecules, it goes down, and it goes down at an alarming rate. So when we're like 13 years of age, we're hitting 100% of our maximum redox potential in our mitochondria. That's where we make this stuff, right? We're at 100% at 13. When we're 40 years of age, we're down to 50% production in a healthy individual. So our cellular signaling is 50%, half of what it was. And by the time we're 60 to 70 years of age, it's 10% of that. And that's the problem. That's where we see the signs of aging, because our cells can't do what they used to do. But if you take the analogy of a phone, right, a cell phone, as the Americans call it, right, if you take this close to the tower, it's 4-bar 5G, right, or 4G. 5G's coming. That's a worry, but anyway, it's coming. But it's 4G at the moment for me where I live. And if you go away from the tower, you're going to get less and less bars. So at 13, it's like 4 bars or 5 bars and 4G. You've got full service. You know, videos are fun. Videos are fast. It's no problem. But if you're at 40 years of age, it's like 2 to 3 bars and 3G. You can still Google, you can still watch the video. It's just going to take longer for it to stream. It's going to be a bit slow, right? And a 40-year-old cannot exercise like they did when they were 16. You know, you feel it the next day. And if you are 60 to 70 years of age, just like 1 to 2 bars and no internet, and you barely can get a text message through, you can't have a conversation anymore. And that's what our cells are like. They can't get the signal through, so they can't communicate what they need to be healthy. Okay, they can't use the nutrition properly. The hormones aren't working properly. The digestion is not working properly. Cardiovascular disease is increasing. It's a big problem. And this is a phenomenal technology because it can help reverse that deficiency of redox signaling molecules. Like, that's mind-blowing. When I understood that, I was like, oh my God, this technology is amazing. So redox molecules regulate every major body system in the body at the cellular level. What does that mean? It means that it doesn't matter what the problem is, right? If it involves a cell, and all problems involve a cell, right? And you add redox, then the cell will be healthier. The cell will operate, it will perform and heal like it's younger. It's amazing. It's amazing. So it can be the skeleton, it can be the cardiovascular system, the lungs, the skin, whatever. Okay, so redox is an extraordinary technology. And I really encourage you, if you want to do your research, and I encourage, some people want to do research, that's great. Other people don't need to know it, but other people do need to know it. And if you're one of those people that needs to do your research, then please go to pubmed.gov. Please go to Google Scholar, right? Don't go to Google. Google is a search engine. It's not a research engine, and there's rubbish on Google. And to be frankly honest, there's some terrible, horrible, made-up rubbish about ASEA on Google. And most people, again, are not willing to dig deep enough to figure out, these websites, who's paying for these websites, right? So it takes a little bit of research to figure that out. Don't listen to it. When you go to PubMed, when you go to Google Scholar, you're not going to see studies on ASEA. You're going to see studies on redox, right? ASEA is the only company in the world that has made a bioidentical, balanced redox signaling molecule products, and there's 3 of them. There's the bottle, and then the gel, and then the serum, right? And they are not medical products. We're not making claims on these products. There's some health benefit claims I'll talk about from a cosmetic perspective later on, but do the independent research. It shows what redox does in the body, and it will blow your mind how fundamental this stuff is. Now, this amazing company came out. They actually developed the liquid back in 2009 and launched as a company in 2012. 2014, as I said, they came up with the gel and they launched into Australia and New Zealand and other countries. And then 2 years later, there was such a good result of the gel from a cosmetic perspective. People were screaming out for a moisturizer and for a cleanser as well. So they came up with those products. And then as time went on, we all knew that redox is half the story when it comes to cellular health. Complete cellular health requires nutrition as well, right? So the breakthrough with ASEA is the redox, right? Because that is the cell signaling. But without good nutrition, you're not going to have optimal cell health. And the analogy there is like, if you want to build a house, you need good plans. You need a good blueprint. And for us as human beings or living cellular organisms, that's the DNA. And then the redox is kind of like the foreman that reads the DNA, right? And tells the tradesman what building to do. And the nutrition is the building materials. It's the concrete, the tiles, it's the carpet, the wood, all of that sort of stuff. So you do need excellent nutrition. And there's a lot of study on nutrition these days. But I have sold millions of dollars in nutritional products in my life, right? And in 2010, I really started to look into the manufacturing processes and practices of nutritional products in Australia. And I was very alarmed to see that a lot of the old naturopathic owned nutritional, like really, natural organic based nutritional products were being sold up to pharmaceutical companies and large publicly listed companies that really, they lost the soul of why they were developing those products in the first place. Right? They originally those products were developed to help human health, and now it seems like it's more about profit. Right? And personally, I wouldn't take any of the rubbish supplements in any supermarket. Right? If they can make a supplement that is that cheap, they can put in a supermarket, chances are it's not doing much. And even Blackmores said that, and now they're one of the big brands in supermarkets. Right? They actually turned down Coles and Woolies when they first asked them to set the price point for what they wanted Blackmores to put their product in the supermarket. So anyway, there's a whole history there. But I went to food-based. Supplements, and I could only get them from America. And when ASEA came out with these ones, I was blown away because these products were actually better than the ones that I was taking at the time. So ASEA, in my experience, my genuine experience, is just mind-blowing that this is the only company in the world that offers complete cellular health, both the signaling and the nutrition. It is amazing. And if you want optimal health, I just encourage you to give that a try. It is next level. So the Renew 28, being a cosmetic product, we can talk a lot about that. And Dermatest is actually the #1 dermatological research institute of Europe. It's based in Germany. Right now, Europe's pretty highly regulated. The EU, right? You can't say rubbish there. And these guys are the #1 research institute of Europe. And this is what they said about Renew 28. And this is based on using it twice a day, right? One tube twice a day. This is what they got: 23% increase in smoothness, 22% improvement in skin, facial texture, 20% increase in elasticity, 23% improvement in overall wrinkles, 11% increase in skin moisture. Now, with the skin moisture, if you've ever tried Renew and no one's taught you how to use it properly, you might find that you feel a tightening of the skin. And that's because Renew is not a moisturizer. It's a cell signaling product that helps your cell membrane do its job. And as we age, we actually dehydrate. So if your cell's round, and not all of them are round, but it's kind of like shrinking as you age, right? It can't suck in the water as well as it used to, and it can't keep the water, and it can't keep the minerals as well. So we dehydrate and we demineralize as we age. But when you start using Renew, and this is not a scientific study, but this is my theory, this is as I understand it, right? In my words, is that actually helps that cellular membrane to start to do what it used to do when it was younger. And it's sucking the extracellular fluid into the intracellular fluid. And that's where you get this dryness. And I started in the middle of winter, right when it first started. No one knew about Renew 28. No one told me you need a moisturizer as well. But I would encourage you, use your Renew 28, let it dry a couple of minutes, and then use a good moisturizer, right? I love ASEA's one, but use whatever you like. But that is going to get you an even better response, because Renew 28 is not a moisturizer, but it scientifically does increase the skin moisture. And that's why sometimes when you use it, if you've got dry skin, I've got not great skin, I've got terrible skin, Scottish, Irish skin. I live in the skin cancer capital of the world. I spent a lot of time water skiing, sailing, surfing, out on the beach, when I was younger. So, and I don't like using sunscreen, and I get a lot of sun. And when I put it on, it felt like I had egg white on my face. Like I was like, oh my God, this is very tight skin. So you may experience that too, but if you use a moisturizer, you probably won't. All right. And then they did it on cellulite. Now, cellulite's a big one because there are not, I've spoken to some pretty top people in the aesthetic kind of world, and I don't know of any natural way to reduce cellulite, right? It usually requires some pretty invasive techniques. Cellulite is actually an area of the body that the body is storing toxins. The body's trying to protect you from toxins. So it's not just a cosmetic thing. It's actually a health thing. And they use the Renew 28 for 12 weeks, twice a day. And again, they use the same amount as the previous study, which was enough to take 30 to 60 seconds to rub in dry, right? If you're not getting a result with Renew, because usually I think it's because you're not using enough. So I suggest people use a blueberry or a raspberry amount when they use it, okay? And that definitely goes with cellulite, because if you're using hips and buttocks, it's a big area, right? So don't be scabby. Use plenty. But twice a day had a nearly 16% decrease. You know, it was a huge difference. And they actually measured the fat lobules, and the fat lobules were shrinking. Okay, so they could see that this was detoxing the body as well. So massive improvement, great improvement in elasticity, all that sort of stuff as well, just in 6 weeks. All right, so this is Stevens and Associates. All these studies that ASEA does, they do it with really top-notch labs, from independent labs from all over the world. And Stevens and Associates is a massive dermatological laboratory, and they showed an improvement in skin blood flow, 49% in just 15 minutes after you apply Renew 28. That is a significant physiological change. And with that comes nutrients and takes waste away, oxygenation, increase in repair, an immune system, all sorts of stuff. So just phenomenal. And if you could think of any conditions that have poor peripheral circulation, perhaps this could be amazing for those people. And that's been my experience. And cell renewal. So they've showed that the cells will turn over 16% faster in just 28 days using it twice a day as well. That is very important, particularly as we're getting older. So when you're like 14 or so, or mid-teens, your cells on your face are turning over like 14 days. When you're in your 20s, it's 28 days, right? That's why they call it Renew 28. Get your best skin back, like skin you had in your sort of mid-20s is usually most people's best skin. When you're 50 years of age plus, it's 90 plus days that those skin cells are turning over. It really slows down. And it's not just your skin cells. It's every cell in your body slows down in its in rejuvenation. So redox is phenomenal for that, okay? And then, so ASEA's funded millions of dollars in research, lots of different laboratories. I want to bring your attention to the bioagilitics. So the bioagilitics is on the back of the Renew 28. And bioagilitics is the #1 verification company. They deal with 25 out of the top 22 biological and pharmaceutical companies in the world to verify that what is in the product, the active ingredient, is actually there. Now, no one tells ASEA they have to do this, right? ASEA is a category creator. No one's ever done this redox technology before. They've been doing it for 10 years now. But they pay this company to prove that the redox is in it, that they say is in it. Okay, so that's just the kind of company that ASEA is. And that is a very well-regarded company, that Bioagilitics. And I do believe one of the people on our medical advisory board, he used to work at Bioagilitics. Anyway, so some phenomenal laboratories there. Torres Labs is actually one of the top nutrigenomics or epigenetic laboratories in the world as well. They did a phenomenal study. And so what do we know about redox? We know that it is a cell signaling supplement. It increases cell signaling. And that's a big deal. And that is, we increase cell signaling, the cells increase in their function and their efficiency. And that means we turn on extra genetic activity. And these 5 key areas are pretty important: digestive health, inflammatory response, immune system, cardiovascular disease, and hormone modulation. I would say that 90% of my clients in the clinics and the health food shop and the businesses I've been in, they're part of these 5 areas, right? These are the stuff that's really impacting most people. Athletes are getting phenomenal performance and recovery. So it's mind-blowing for me. Not only do I see like really quite elite, fit, healthy people see an improvement, but even sometimes I'm dealing with the sickest of people, and the thing they come back to me and they go, wow, I really feel a lot more energy. I feel like I got more stamina. I can do more. In fact, we had a call last night with a lady who, just phenomenal story. And she's like, I can do the vacuuming and I can do all the housework myself now. And when you haven't been able to do that for 10 years and all of a sudden you can do that, that's a big deal. Like, that really changes the quality of someone's life. You know, so this is a great technology, and all you need to do is to learn to teach people how to drink it and how to rub it on. right? You don't have to be a medical professional to be able to help people with this stuff. You just introduce them to this technology and you help them use it correctly, and you can change their lives in a dramatic way. Obviously, skin and the cosmetics, fantastic benefits there. That's great. I'm not such a beauty therapist kind of a guy. I'm more of a health guy, but definitely the ones that like their beauty, the Redox is good. Now, Anne Louise Gittleman, she was actually named the first lady of nutrition in America. She's got 30 books, and many of them New York best sellers. And yeah, so she's pretty good on lifestyle medicine. And she says, ASEA, in my humble estimation, is the greatest advance in lifestyle medicine, which harnesses the power of your own body to keep you well. Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, who's the medical atomic physicist that stabilizes these molecules, he was contracted as a scientist to ASEA, and he is an amazing man. I hope you get to meet him, have a talk to him. I've shed tears with him, and he's told me some stuff that is just mind-blowing, what this technology has done for people. And he says this technology has the potential to spearhead the greatest advances in health we have ever seen. And that is my truth. I have seen, I've had to shift my paradigm of what is possible to heal. And it's just been an amazing journey. Okay, so the experts are talking about it. Now, this is Dr. Robertson Ward, and Dr. Robertson Ward is a functional medicine doctor, and he wrote this book, and he says that 95% of our genes are not fixed. What if we could influence these? So we're in the realm of epigenetics here, on nutrigenomics. And he shows that science, he says that science shows that lifestyle changes and biochemical cellular factors activate a gene or not. And he says that I know of no better resource than supplementing redox molecules if we want to impact our genes, our cells, foundationally. Okay, so that's a really cool little book. You can actually buy that book. I think it's been translated into about 4 or 5 languages now as well. Okay, so let's go to some real life cases of what redox has done for people. So you can see these, and I remember back in 2014 and 15 when Facebook allowed you to do before and after photos. And this is actually the old bottle. See the blue lid? That's how it used to be. Facebook was flooded with these kind of with these before and afters, right? And obviously, you know, you'd be friends with heaps of people on ASEA on Facebook, and you just see all these like testimonials like coming in that were mind blowing. And it's not just like loose skin tightening up like there was a turkey neck case that was just like mind blowing. But redness and pigmentation and, you know, less wrinkles and all that, which is fantastic. One of the things that really caught my attention was scarring, because I actually sold a lot of things for scarring, and scarring doesn't regenerate really easily. Like if you're getting a scar to regenerate, you're doing something special. And we saw some phenomenal results in scarring. The lady there, the Asian looking lady there on the second one from the left, that's actually our vice president, senior vice president of global operations. That's his wife. And so, you know, a lot of these pictures are close to home. These are people that we've met and we know. And, you know, these are real stories that we've dealt with. It's been phenomenal. So this lovely lady, now she was using actually both products, Renew and ASEA, for 6 months. And she had a challenge where once a month she would get a really bad migraine. So bad that she has to stay in a dark room and she'd get very nauseous and vomit. And so after 6 months, obviously she got a great cosmetic benefit. You can look at her skin there. She's looking fantastic. But I'm sure she's happy that she looks better, but I'm sure she is more happy that she feels a lot better, because that migraine and dark room and nauseous issue just disappeared. This lady, again, 6 months, but using both products, had a fantastic improvement in the cosmetic side of it. But she actually used to drive an hour into the city to get an injection into her eye to stop her eyes watering. And again, 6 months in, that just disappeared. Now, sometimes people need a little bit of time to see this really work and for it to go to town and start to regenerate the cells and help the body be healthier. So athletes all over the world are using this stuff, you know, strongest man in the world, Olympian athletes, all sorts of stuff. Validation, ASEAScience.com has got all the studies that are released in America that we're not allowed to talk about in Australia and other countries in the world. So go there and check out what's available. It's also got great information on the ASEA Medical Board, the Scientific Advisory Council, the safety studies. There's been millions of dollars in safety studies. And just one thing there, this product is safer than water. This is less toxic than water. It has no contraindication to any medication, and it complements any other therapy. It's native to the body. The redox concentration in there is the same concentration as what we make in a body. Like those statistics, I have never come across anything like that in my 26 years in health now.
So this stuff is very different. Now, this is a little bit of validation that was unexpected. It came from the Huffington Post. No one in the CEO knew that this was happening. This is a few years ago now, but it actually said that 5 emerging technologies in science that will shape our lives in the coming years. And it says they're redox signaling molecules in number 4, which is pretty cool. Nutrigenomics is what we used to do in the integrated medical clinic as well. So combining those two, it is powerful stuff. All right. Now, I want to make it very clear that a CM Renew 28 is not intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any disease or medical condition. This is not a medical product. This is a health product, and it does have some health benefits, but we are not making any disease claims or anything like that here. And obviously, you have to try the products for yourself and see what they do for you. Now, setting correct expectations is important. Learning how to use the products correctly is critical. So when I first started this, there was about 5 years of clinical studies, or clinical experience, I should say, in America. And the doctors and the practitioners I was talking to said to me that 10% of people would see a positive result in the first week using the molecules correctly. Only 10%. That means 90% of people don't get a good don't see a positive shift. And that says to me that 90% people would suspect that it fails if they expect to only use it in a week and get a result. So please do not sell people enough product to only use it for a week and expect that the majority of people are going to like it, right? It just doesn't work like that. It takes time. 1 month, 50% of people see a positive result. Now you're starting to get there, but that's only a 50-50 chance. That's not good odds. But 3 months, 90% of people were responding with a positive shift in their health after 90 days. So I always make it clear to people, look, if you want to give this a good go, do it for 90 days and give it a shot and see how you go. And use it properly and hydrate properly and use the right dose according to what's going on in their health and their age and all that sort of stuff. And when I do that correctly, see great results the majority of the time. So Renew 28 from a pricing perspective compared to a lot of other anti-aging creams, way better pricing. Our genesis of ASEA is that these two extraordinary men found this technology. They were actually brought onto the company to try and help save this company as a biotech research company that was failing because they had invested in creating technology for the medical industry that failed because it was non-toxic, actually. And anyway, they reached out to a big pharma company once they stabilized the redox signaling molecules, and they created the company. I don't even think ASEA existed at this point. They just had the technology. And there were 4 pharmaceutical companies that had tried to create redox signaling molecules and failed and said it was impossible, and put millions and millions of dollars into it. And these guys had done it with the help of Dr. Gary Samuelson. At the same time, they put a bunch of people on the product for a test, and no one was paying for the product. No one's paying to share it. And all of these people had significant health challenges, 6 of which were told to go home by their doctors, that there was nothing more that could be done for them. Those 6 years later, 5 of them were still alive, and only the one that had passed away due to complications due to the treatment of their condition. So that was pretty interesting. And these guys started to see a lot, like these people just getting extraordinary results, and they started to share it with heaps of people. So by word of mouth, naturally sharing with other people, it started to expand. So anyway, they were offered in Australian terms close to $1 billion to buy the technology back then. But they had to stop giving it to all the other people. And they had a choice. Do they take the money, or do they actually create the technology and keep it for people? And they chose to turn down the money. And that is equally amazing to the technology of the product, because this company has already proven that money is not the priority. People are the priority. And in this day and age, that's a pretty rare thing. That is extraordinary leadership, extraordinary authenticity, extraordinary principles. And as I invite you to learn more about ASEA and do the Ethos Academy and look at some of the teachings that this company actually says it has 3 products. It has the redox products and the health products. It has the business opportunity, which allows people to earn an income while making a difference. And hey, there's a lot of people in the world that really need that. But the third thing that the company wants to export around the world is its culture, because it is as valuable, if not more valuable than the other 2. So yeah, this is pretty cool. And I really encourage you to do your homework and get to know what it's all about. Now, Vertus, as I said, was the vice president of Kraft Foods when he retired. Now, Very clever man, and he knew that word of mouth marketing was very successful and still is to this day as the most successful. This is the wonderful Mel Robbins, and she is a podcaster, all sorts of stuff, and she says that we're in an enormous revolution right now. The entire economy and the way in which it works is changing before our eyes. And she loves direct sales, network marketing, like Airbnb, Uber, all of these kind of styles of business. They have generated enormous wealth and opportunity in products and services that many of us love. And yes, utilizing technology. Okay, we're not going to watch her because I'm already over time. Now, sample list of professions from the US. So these are professionals in the US that earn $10,000 or more per month. And you can look at all of them. All of those require very expensive degrees, a hell of a lot of study, and none of them have residual income. They're basically swapping their time for money. But a diamond in network marketing, a diamond is a fairly significant indicator of rank and advancement in this business and achievement. And the average is kind of around that, 13,200 US a month. It shows an extraordinary residual income for a person with no qualification, but utilizing this business system. This business model is a very different model with leverage and duplication, and teaches you about life, how to live life in a different way. I often refer to what we do as a personal mastery program disguised as a network marketing company that just happens to have the best physical healing technology on the planet. So yeah, that might be a mouthful, but think about it. If you start doing the work and reading the books and learning and growing, you will be amazed. Now, when you look at the power of residual income, which very few people unfortunately really get to experience in their life, say you take $5 million in the bank and you get 3% per year after taxes and all that sort of stuff, which you're pretty lucky to do right now. Cash is not returning a lot. And you get an income of $12,500 a month, you'd be doing all right, yeah? Well, remember, when I started this, I was dying in bankrupt, right? And very quickly, I was able to develop an income in excess of this. And I can tell you, there is no way that I could conceive of getting $5 million in the bank to do that. So I was able to develop an asset that paid me a fantastic residual income and has ever since. I've been doing this for 6 years now. That was just extraordinary. And there's just no way I could have got an investment portfolio to match that. And it's a willable asset as well, by the way. So once you build your business up to an executive level, you can will that on. All right, so the ASEA success story, operating since 2009, it owns all its manufacturing facility for the redox, it owns its admin building, 18 distribution centers around the world, full logistics operations in 33 countries in the world, customer service in 16 different languages, over $500 million in sales. This is actually pretty old statistics now. Year-on-year growth. Now, that's pretty important. Like, this company's never gone backwards. It's always grown. 50% growth in the last, in fact, as of February, in Australia and New Zealand, we have an 80% growth for the 2 years, the previous 2 years. That 50% growth was actually globally, it grew by 50% last year, and then it grew by 50% the year before. So there's not many companies that are doing that. Yeah, we're actually up in, I was on the Diamond Call the other day, and we're still up even through COVID, which is pretty cool. Hundreds of thousands of lives changed. Not one adverse reaction to the technology. Profitable since its first year and a solid legacy company. But this is Tyler speaking on stage. At the end of the day, it's people that matter most. And, we all need to pay our bills, and we do, we all want a good business so that we can be wealthy and we can experience life to the best of our opportunity, because you can only do that if you have enough resources, right? I love Buckminster Fuller. I think he's like the Leonardo da Vinci of the last century. Amazing man. He said, if you solve the money problem, it's easier to solve all the other problems, right? Well, since I have been able to solve my money problem, I've been able to increase my charity. I've been able to increase my ability to do parenting. I've been a better friend. I've been more social. It gives you the ability to live a more extraordinary life. And it is about the people at the end of the day. Vertus Norton says, what's money for? Money is for creating memories and experiences. And that is a beautiful thing. So back to what we were saying before, what is your story? What could your story be? This is the official income disclosure statement. You can see there that the average monthly income for the different ranks is not bad. As soon as you go past platinum, you're on a 100K income plus. And yeah, it's we did that pretty fast. We went to diamond in 14 months with one product. Now there's 8 products and a lot more countries to do it in. So it's much easier. Okay, so what could your story be? I want you for a second to just let yourself dream. Think about your wildest, greatest desires and that thing inside you that always wanted to do something amazing, that wanted to fill your potential. What is that? A CA is a vehicle that can actually help you do that. So where do you see yourself? You could, if you'd like, use the products and get the health benefits. Fantastic. And you can do that retail or wholesale. I always say to people, why pay more than full price? You pay what I pay. Pay wholesale. It's great. You just require a monthly order for that, but you can cancel at any time. And that monthly order can be as small or large as you want. And you've got complete control. Any initial order from a SEER has 100% money back guarantee on the product. It doesn't include shipping and handling. But that means you can have up to 2 cases. So that's like 4 bottles or 4 bottles and 4 tubes for your first 30 days and use the lot and then ask for your money back. That is pretty risk-free, right? And that's usually going to get a result for most people. Just about anyone will get a result out of that. So that's pretty special. And then sharer or a builder, an extra $500 a month has been shown to decrease divorces and separations in the US and Australia by an enormous amount. You know, like most families, an extra $500 a month is going to change their life. And it really is not that hard to do that. You just, you know, we all know sick people. It's like, get out there and just say, hey, I know something could help you. Would you have a look at some information? It's that easy. And then if you want to be a lifestyle entrepreneur, which is what Nicole and I decided to be, happy days, man. You can live all over the world and do all sorts of fancy stuff. And that's a career path. If you get serious, it can be a lifelong career and give you an extraordinary life. So it worked for me. This is the amazing Vertus Norton when he retired, and he said, we're at the start of something big with great purpose, and right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. We can change the world. You can change the world. Every person on this planet can change the world, and I invite you to join the amazing ASEA global family and get back to the person that invited you to have a look at this tonight's call and ask them some questions. Get all your questions answered and jump on, give it a try. You really don't have much to lose. You know, the product guarantee is just amazing. But there is a saying, which is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So this is a relationship-based business. And it means like truly taking care of people, relating to people, understanding where they're at, learn the skill of doing that and what's important to them and help people get what they want. Zig Ziglar said, when you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything you want. And that's the dream, man. We can help a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that need that help right now. So so be a friend and reach out to them and have a solid conversation about what's possible in their life. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's presentation. I love you all. Thank you so much, Tracy. She said she loved my story. Appreciate that very much. I hope you got some things out of that. I didn't see any questions in there. I did say you could put some questions in the comments if you wanted. Some comments. Hey, there's a new message. What's that say? Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Mara. It's great to have some good feedback. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm glad some people loved it and got some value out of that. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.